Now remember, this book, these stories I'm telling you are from this book right here, Brooklyn Street Fighter, growing up East New York, surviving the war zone, which it was a war zone, you know. All right, the next story I'm going to start. I'm sorry about the last story, but the next story I'm going to start is New Lots Boys versus the Unholy Alliance, and you'll find out why I call it the Unholy Alliance. Right? It was the winter of 1960. East New York was rich in harmony and had and a closeness that cannot be found today. Today, people are ready to accept any kind of condition in order to win. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame. People got, I don't know how people got so selfish. You know, it used to be family units in certain areas, you know, and all over Brooklyn, New York, Manhattan, the Bronx, all the same people, good people, you know. But this was you know, it was you know, it was trying times. It was getting bad. East New York was really getting bad. And you know, I was working in the butcher. It was freezing one day. I mean, freezing cold. So I rode my, I told I told my uncle I'm gonna go home, man. It's free. And she said, yeah, go home. I'm closing up anyway. Nobody's coming out. So I rode my bike home, and I went home. I had a chill I couldn't get out of me. You know that feeling you couldn't get the chill out of your body? Well, I couldn't get this chill out of my body. And I'm like, all right, you know, I jump in the shower. I sat in hot water for like, I don't know, an hour, half hour, whatever it was, you know. I sat in there until that chill left my body, man. I just put hot water on me. And then I got dressed, and I dressed up in fight gear. You know, my fight gear was like, I'd wear like jeans, gum sole shoes, you know, it was freezing, so I put on a hooded sweatshirt, and I put a three-quarter leather jacket over that. You know, I had skin gloves that I always had. You know, they were great to fight with. You know, but it, you know, this is my fight gear. You know, I can't slip. I never had tight pants. I kept them fairly loose because you know, I don't have to explain. All right. And my mother says, do you want something to eat? I said, listen, Ma, I worked out every day during the week, every day, you know, and this is going to be no exception. You know, I said, Ma, I'm going to go for a run. You know, be back in a little while. I got to get this out, you know. So I go for a run. I'm running up towards New Lots Avenue, and I get to the Elton Street Park, and there are a few guys and girls in the park. It's freezing. I mean, you know. And I walk in, and I'm like, what? He said, oh, man. I go, man, it's freezing. And then I said, yeah, you know what? Let's go for a run with me, you guys. Come on, let's go for a run, you know. A few of the guys said, yeah. A couple of guys go, fuck you. I ain't running nowhere, you know. So the guys come with me, and we run at the Linwood Street side to Hegeman Avenue, I think. And then down Hegeman Avenue, made a right to Ashford Street, you know. Then a few more blocks, then we went north on Ashford Street to towards New Lots Avenue in the Boys Club. As we approach in the Boys Club, we see in the gas station across the street, it's packed with blacks and Puerto Ricans. I mean, packed, you know. I mean, like, what the hell? There's like 100 guys there, you know. There's 8 of us, you know. So we go in the Boys Club, and there's these bad dudes that are standing there, man, like really bad bandanas, bald heads, you know, typical, like, oh shit, we're in trouble. So they're arguing with Bingo. It was Sonny's father who ran the Boys Club, and a few of the guys that were in the club, they were arguing. And one of the guys was a big dude, you know, and he had these tattoos with no color, and it's the first time I heard it later that their jailhouse tattoos. This guy was in prison, in jail, whatever, and he got these tattoos, you know. And meanwhile, he's got a leather vest on and no shirt. You know, I'm like, it's freezing now. What kind of animal is this? You know, I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing that. You know, I might as well jump in cold water. It's not me. So now they walk out, and as they walk out, they go, you're dead, New Lots, you guys are dead. You come out, you're dead. I go, really? You think so? You think that's going to happen? So I go out. My guys follow me, so everybody else in the Boys Club comes. There's not a lot of us, you know, maybe, it could have been 15, 20 of us, maybe. But as we stepped out, the older guys from the Triangle came out, Frank's Bar, Chester's, even the younger guys from the park, my friends, they got word, they came. So we gathered up a lot of people too. And this guy has a baseball bat. There's one Puerto Rican, heavy set guy, about 5'11", 5'10", 5'11", you know, it's like that. Heavy set, he has this long raincoat on. He has a hoodie on. I couldn't really see his face good. Seen a big scar on his face, and he has a bat in his hand. And he's like, You guinea, he's calling us guinea bastards. You guinea motherfucker, you guinea bastards. You know, I'm cracking, blah, blah, blah. I said, guinea bastard. I run at him. I run thinking, this fat slob ain't gonna tag me. I'll bob and weave and do my little boxing thing, you know. And I'm like, I'm digging, I'm trying to sidestep, bang, bang. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the gas station across the street, which was about 20, 30 feet away. And I'm like, I don't know how I got there. He must have dragged me or something, you know. But there's a big all-around fight. And then he jumps on top of me, this fat bastard, and he's banging, bang, bang, bang. He actually woke me up, you know. And as my eyes opened, I didn't feel pain, but I felt the blood squirting from my face, you know. Just squirting out, you know. And I'm like, I just opened my eyes. I grabbed him by his face. I pulled him down towards me. I bit him on his face. I tried to rip him off, but he ripped these 2 nails off, you know. He kind of ripped my nails off while he was halfway, you know, while I'm trying to rip him out. I'm biting him on the head, biting him on the face, and banging him. Sonny runs over, kicks the guy. The guy kind of rolls off, but Sonny goes away, and this guy gets back up. He picks me up. I'm trying to get up, but he picks me up, throws me down again like I'm a lightweight rag doll. I'm like, oh, fuck. I can't even remember. But he throws me down, but as I'm going down, there's a bottle right next to me. I grab the Coke bottle. He's on top of me again, punching me. I grab him by his head in his hoodie, and I pull him down to as close as I can so he can't deliver that damage, you know. I break the bottle, and I got him with my left hand. I'm holding him. I'm a strong kid, and I'm stabbing him in the neck, banging in the face and in the neck and in his face, and I keep stabbing this motherfucker. So I keep stabbing him, and all of a sudden he goes limp. He's done. I'm done. I'm really done too, but he's done. He's really baked. So I roll him off of me. I hear cop cars are coming. Everybody's running. I barely could see, you know, with the blood in my eyes and my finger. And, you know, I'm damaged, you know. He hit me in the face. I mean, my nose is flat. My tooth is broke. So I get up, and I barely could get up, and I dragged my ass home to my house. You know, now, I lived in a 2-story house. We owned the house. We had a tenant upstairs, and when you walk in my house, you walked in the living room. You walked in the living room, my brother, and there was my brother, typical brother, my older brother. He was typical. I was always out. He was always home. And he's in his typical house gear, you know, a white T-shirt and boxer shorts, looking at TV, because you walked into the living room. The kitchen was to the left of that, so I tried to get through the kitchen. My father was playing cards with his friends, so they're not going to look up. My mother was washing the dishes, so I'm like, I got to sneak past her, you know. And before this, she told me not to go out for a run because she had a bad feeling. So every time she did that, me and my brother, and something would happen, we would call her a witch. You got to be a witch. There's got to be something. So now I'm trying to pass my mother, and she turns around, looks at me, and screams. I go right to the bathroom. I turn on the sink and the cold water. I just put my head in it, and I'm like, oh man, my lips are hanging down because my tooth is broke. My lips are just hanging, all V'd up, all messed up, down and bottom and down. It's all skin hanging. My nose is killing me. It's bent. He kind of, he didn't break it, but he break like I fractured it. But and my two fingernails are killing me, you know. So my father and his friends, they come running in the bathroom. My father's like raises his hand to hit me. And then I look up and I go ahead, you find a spot, just take the spot. You know, what am I going to do? He said, don't you run? Now, let me tell you, I got a PhD in street stupidity, okay? And you know, and that's what I learned. I'm not running. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put myself through that. You know, I'm not going to sleep and say, oh, well, I ran. You know, I can't. I may be stupid, but I'm not doing it, you know. So I said, no, I don't run. He goes, well, because you're a moron. I said, well, whatever you think, I could care less, man. I'm still in the sink trying to cool down, trying to, you know, heal myself, you know. And I don't mind the pain. I kind of like the pain sometimes, you know, of a fight. You know, I felt good. It gave me adrenaline run, a rush, you know. So, and I'm sure the guys that are going to listen to the street guys, you know, black, white, Puerto Rican, they've been through the same thing. They're gonna say the same thing, you know. I got that rush, you know. So now I wind up, I go to sleep. My fingernails are beating like crazy. You know, I'm like, oh, shit. See, my father takes me to Dr. Meyerhoff, who's another doctor we use. We use Dr. LaBarbera, but Dr. Meyerhoff was kind of, you know, he did anything he wanted to, you know. So I go there, and he gives me tetanus shots, I guess, you know. I'm pretty sure they were tetanus shots, you know. And he tells me, you know, a human bite, because of the bacteria, is worse than a rat bite. Just what I wanted to hear, a human bite is worse than a rat bite. Thanks a lot, you know. I needed that, doc, you know. So we go home, and I got to stay home at a school, you know, and I'm 15, and my friends kept coming over, you know, and said, well, yeah, they're coming back, blah, blah, blah. So my father thought it was a good idea to send me away. You know, he sent me to Long Island, Deer Park, where most of my aunts, that side of the family, my aunts and uncles lived. They all had homes there. And my grandfather was a great, great guy, just a great, wonderful man. And he had all these farms, which he would turn the dirt himself and plant every season, you know. So he sends me there, you know, and I didn't really talk to Grandpa. He spoke English. My grandmother didn't. She's a great old lady, big woman, but she didn't speak any English. But my grandfather did. He worked for Con Edison, and he had a good pension and stuff, you know. He was a great guy. So, you know, I turned the dirt with him. He seen what kind of work I was. I think he really appreciated, you know, seeing, wow, this kid could work, you know. So I turned the dirt with him, and I wouldn't stop. You know, we made chicken coop, we mended fences. His wine cellar, he had a dirt wine cellar, and we took care of some things on the wall. Not a lot, but I took some stone on the wall he had to replace, you know, because of water. So we did that, and you know, it was a good experience. You know, here I am. You know, I got blisters from working on the farm. My fingernails are still patched up. They're still bandaged. You know. The highlight was my grandmother calling us in for homemade macaroni. You don't get that today, man. It was, you know, meat sauce and pig's feet and skin and brajol, and I mean, where you gonna get that? It was so good, you know. Every time my mouth is watering right now, you know, just thinking of that meal. So that was it. You know, I stayed there a couple of weeks, and then I had to go back to school. So, you know, I went back home. I was pretty much healed, you know. And my friends came over. I went to the park, and I did the same thing. Went to the Triangle, went to the schoolyard, and did all the you know, my new Lust Boy things, you know. And but I got to tell you, you know, that experience really left, you know, it left a good memory. You know, here I never would have had that memory with my grandfather. Here it is. I'm working with my grandfather. You know, when he died. Now he had 7 children, grandchildren. He had all these grandchildren and nieces and nephews. Now, when he died with a $100 bill in my Army picture in it. You know, when he died of cancer, and you know, I'm like, really? So my Aunt Angie gave me the $100 bill. But I got to tell you, the best present for me was spending a time with him. But the second best was, well, he had my picture. Why? He must have been proud. He must have been proud of me. I mean, I did this stuff in the Army. You'll hear about it later, which is crazy too. But you know, listen, that street fight created a positive experience for me with my grandfather. You know, and sometimes the greatest bonds between people come about for the results from the experiences they have. You know. You know, and let me tell you, are the wars halfway around the world? Are they like honest? They're legitimate, but my wars in Eastern New York are not? No. All wars seem to be a necessary evil at this point. I don't like war. Definitely. Fighting, you know, I like it. I don't like it. I don't know what to think. At this age, you know, I'm like, why? You know? But I, you know, I did have some great experiences. So now this is another story, and I hope you guys enjoy this. You know, I'm trying to keep it lighter than the wise guys. The wise guys, I killed this guy, I killed that guy, I had that guy murdered. I had them go just fuck yourself. All right, do me a favor. I want to hear about your battles. What kind of balls you got? You got balls? Let me see. I don't know. All right. So thanks a lot. You know, I'm sorry for cursing so much. I don't want to curse, you know. But I do it anyway. But because that's the street talk. This is the way I talk. All right, thanks so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow.